Hey, so I was just thinking, when it comes to showing up for ourselves, like realistically, like when you really think about it, sometimes it can be hard showing up for yourself towards the ending of the day. You know, you're working all day, whatever your job is, or just serving people or whatever you do in your day. And then you come home and sometimes you might not be physically exhausted. You might just be mentally exhausted because it's like you've been talking to people all day, or maybe you've been physically moving around all day. And you want to come home and relax. But then it's like, oh, you have to eat dinner. You may have to cook that dinner. Then it's like, I don't want to cook. What can I do instead? Some people they go eat out, which is fine. That's your choice. They're healthy places, but like just say if you start eating something that you typically don't eat, and then that starts to weigh on you know? Um, and so it's just making me think of how do you balance that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you balance that? Because you come home, maybe you got to clean up or wash some dishes or, just certain things just to keep up with your personal things, your personal life, keep up with you. And so it's like, how do you keep that balance? How do you create that balance? And I keep going back to prepare, prepare. And the reason why this has just been coming up for me a lot is because the last 6 months, the transition working outside of the home has been taking longer than expected. Like, I thought that I would have been adjusted by now and things like that. And I'm like, oh, this really like flipped my life upside down. Not in the, you know what? No, let me take that back. My life is right side up. It feels like it got flipped upside down, but it's not nothing negative. It's just different. And just learning to embrace the change. And again, I'm going back to preparation. Like tonight, I had a training to do. So I couldn't do my typical, like the sessions that I have with families. Well, this one family I couldn't do today because of that training. And so after that, I completed, after that was completed, I had some time, maybe about like 2 hours. No, we got done actually a half hour early. And I have to leave the house in like 20 minutes. And so I'm like, you know what? I mean, I wasn't like tired or anything. I could have came in the living room to relax, but I was like, you know what? What can I do right now? Because I knew that I was going to be hungry before I had to leave. And so, you know what I did? I peeled me a bunch of oranges. I have a Ziploc bag full of grapes, and I have some bananas. And so that's what I'm going to eat. And I prepped it ahead of time. It literally took me like 5 minutes, like in the kitchen. And so it's just like, okay, cool, you know? And then I had something else to do for one of my other positions at work and that I do, and got that done. That literally took 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, good, cool. Emailed who I needed to email. Cool, knock that out. And now I'm like walking around twiddling my thumbs. Now there's things that I need to do. There are, but it's like I'm gonna chill out for this next, well, now like 15 minutes. I'm gonna chill out and just relax. And don't say, and I can't say I didn't have a break throughout the day because I have breaks in my day, but just overall, I'm like, even in those breaks in the day, what can I do to help me later? Because guess what? When I get home at 8:30, I'm not going to want to clean up. I'm not going to feel like it. I wouldn't even feel like making me something to eat. Like, you know what I mean? And if I do get hungry, I have like a snack. No big deal. But Yeah, it's like those little things, they count. They actually matter. And I had to say, great work, Judy. I'm proud of you. Like I had to tell myself that I was proud of myself because I showed up for myself in that way. Because when I don't, I pay for it. And then I regret it. And then it just causes a heaviness and disappointment and guilt and shame and all the things. Ain't nobody got time for that, okay? Okay? Ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm done sharing. But y'all have a blessed rest of your day. And remember that the joy of y'all is your strength.